All right, what is up, Utah fans? We just got exciting news. Isaac Wilson is going to come back for another year and stay at Utah. He just posted on Twitter, let's run it back. Utah man, I am. Very exciting news. And I'm sure there's a lot of mixed emotions, right? I know I'm kind of feeling a bunch of different ways. And I think I took a strong stance in saying that Isaac Wilson's not ready to be a starter and there's a ton of improvement to do. And I'm going to touch on that today. Before we dive into it, though, guys, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, comment down below. What do you think? Are you excited to have Isaac back? Are you kind of indifferent? Are you annoyed and you don't want him here anymore? Don't be too negative, but I want to know what you guys are thinking. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. And on that note, let's go ahead and dive in. Go Utes. All right, guys. And for anyone that is unfamiliar with the tragic, up and down, wild college career so far of Isaac Wilson, he's a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school, very coveted in the state of Utah, and the guy everyone wanted to land on the. I mean, he had a bunch of offers. I'll actually pull it up just to give you guys an idea of what he was getting out of high school. He was the type of guy that could go, almost anywhere he wanted. It was clear pretty quickly that Utah was the favorite to land him, but he had a ton of offers. Just to give you an idea, UCLA, Utah, sorry, it's loading. My internet's being weird today. Oklahoma State, Arizona, Wazoo, Michigan, a bunch of offers here, guys. And the type of kid that really, like I mentioned, could go anywhere he wanted. Miami, BYU was offering him. Oregon was offering him. A bunch of great schools, guys. I just want to make sure I'm painting that picture well. And then, he gets to Utah, super coveted, super exciting for Utah fans. And the season did not go as planned. Cam Rising goes down. Isaac Wilson was supposed to get to sit for a year. That did not happen. Isaac Wilson did not get the chance to sit for a year. He had to go right out on the field as a freshman, third game in and just start, taking us to the promised land, basically. I mean, second game in, really. And this kid basically started almost all season for Utah and really had to go at it right out of the gate. So it was a weird scenario, but the tough part as a Utah fan and as a guy that wants the best for Isaac Wilson, and I have remained this point, if anyone's been watching the channel, I have said that Isaac Wilson leaving the program, I'm just going to, clear the air here. I have said that Isaac Wilson leaving the program is not crazy bad for Utah. Like, this is not some tragic event. He had a long ways to go. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys the numbers from this year: 1,510 yards, 10 touchdowns, 10 picks, a 31 QBR. A 31 QBR puts him at 122nd in all of college football. So that's very, very bad. Just so we're on the same page here. What we saw from Isaac Wilson was not promising, right? There were some flashes. There were. I'm not going to act like those didn't happen, but overall, there was a lot more you wish you would have seen from Isaac Wilson. Now, and I'm not going to keep harping on that. I'm actually glad he's back, and I'm going to tell you guys why. So, one, I think what I said was true. When Isaac went back out there and started looking for suitors in the transfer portal, it became clear that one, no good programs wanted him as a potential starter, right? If any good programs saw his film last year, they were probably very honest with him and saying, hey, you need a couple years to figure this out. And then two, the programs that were willing to let him compete to be a starter or be a starter were not even close to the programs he wanted to go to. And I think that's probably very true. And this is not me hating on Isaac Wilson. I am not trying to make him feel bad. And I am excited he's back. And I'm excited about the narrative behind him being back. There is no one in the world that thinks Isaac Wilson is the starter next year. And I would even go as far as to say, I think we could easily find a backup that fits a little more into this offense. Could we get Isaac Wilson involved somehow? Sure. I'm sure he could be the garbage time guy, start cleaning things up. I'm sure we'll have some solid wins with this explosive offense we're bringing into this year. But I would say this is best for both parties. Isaac Wilson is being brought in to be a backup, to sit on the bench, to learn, to develop, learn how to read defenses, learn how to keep calm in the pocket, learn how to run a college offense. I mean, just he's going to get a golden opportunity to take his time and learn. It again, guys, no ill will against Isaac Wilson, but I believe his grade at the end of the season was in the 50s, right, for PFF. And then that 31 QBR, one of the worst in all of college football. And I think the tape said that, right? The tape for his PFF grade is even worse than what that 50 grade says. And don't get me wrong, there were flashes. That Oklahoma State game, there were drives here and there where you were like, oh, okay, some parts of that Utah State game, right? That there were times where you liked what you saw from Isaac Wilson, but as an overall sample size, you saw a ton of, oh man, like you're not putting it together, dude. You're not figuring it out. And I don't want to focus on the negative because I am excited to have him back. But I think we're winding up for both parties in a golden opportunity where Isaac got to go play and both parties got to see just how far behind he is from where he needs to be a starter. So one, I think we're going to get a very hungry Isaac Wilson. Two, I think there's no false narrative this year where it's like, hey, Isaac Wilson's a superstar. We just need to get him in there. That's not a thing. Anyone that watched last year, I can't imagine you feeling that way, right? If I don't think it would ever happen, but if he were to go out there and win the starting job in practice, good for him, right? Like he just needs to show it and earn it and get it done, right? He needs to show us that he is capable, that he is ready to take that next step. So that's kind of my thoughts, guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Smash the like button if you haven't already. That'll help get the video out to more Utah fans. Also, comment down below. What do you guys think? Is this a really good thing for Utah? Is this a bad thing for Utah? Is it kind of indifferent? I would say I'm more in the indifferent pool. I think we got a blue chip player. We got to see a ton of concerns last year, and now we're going to get him to develop just like any other quarterback would heading into college football. So I'm leaning a good thing. I still would love Isaac Wilson to work out, which I've continually said throughout this past season, but it's not there now. And he needs to work and he needs to take time. So I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. I'm out of here. Go Utes.